What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody's staying positive and definitely staying productive. I want to speak to you guys about masturbation on this episode. And this is the worst type of masturbation that will ruin your life, both physically, financially, and emotionally. It's not the masturbation that you think I'm talking about. This is mental masturbation. And I myself had a massive problem with this in my past when it came to my business and career ventures. So, what is mental masturbation? This is something everybody has participated in some form of another. But in this day and age, because of so much exposure to so many options and opportunities, and so many people showing how to get rich and how to get fit and how to build this and how to create this and how to retire early and all these types of pyramid scams for successes, it's really abundant and it runs rampant in a lot of people's habitual existence. Mental masturbation is the same thing as, sexual masturbation. It's when somebody has an idea and they build up this idea. They hear from somebody that this is a great way to make money, or they see someone get attention from losing fat or getting fit, or they come up with an idea on their own that they want to change their location. They want to move. They want to create a business. They want to go into a different career field. They want to create a brand. They want to travel the world. They want to plan something big. And they conjure up all the good stuff. What am I going to look like? What am I going to dress like? What am I going to drive like? What's it going to be like to be in that position? And they start planning it and planning it and planning it and planning it. And the excitement gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Same as it is when it comes to sexual performance. You're trying to reach that peak. And when they get to the top, their bubble bursts, just like an orgasm. Once you finish, everything calms down and it's relaxed and it's over with. Except in this one comes defeat. In the mental masturbation, you reach that point at the top where you realize, okay, now it's going to take work. Now it's going to take effort. Now it's going to take patience. Now it's going to take money. Now it's going to take discipline. Now it's going to take adjustments to my schedule, to my routine, to my sleep, to my socializing. And then their bubble bursts and they get rid of that idea. They might have taken a couple steps inside of it and actually started it slightly, but then they drop it after a couple of weeks or a couple months because they realize it's going to be more difficult than they thought because they were only looking at the end result. Next thing you know, just like masturbation, they go on to the next episode, the next niche or the next fetish or the next video that they want to watch, and they go to the next idea and they build up the next idea, and it's fine, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to hook up with those people, we're going to build this, and da-da-da-da-da. And then they bring it up to the top, to the peak, and then comes the work, and they give up on it, and they throw everything into the trash. Makes them feel horrible, makes them feel insecure, makes them feel incapable. It builds self-doubt. It builds disbelief in themselves and insecurity. And this is a continuous pattern because somewhere along the line of that, they feel that they need to be doing these things because deep down inside, they're looking to change. They want to change. They're uncomfortable in the position that they're in. Could be their health, could be their finances, could be their relationships, could be their living status. They want change, but they're not willing to do the work that comes along with it because it's not as easy as it looked like from the outside. But they like the recognition. They like talking about it because it makes them feel okay in social situations. They like posting about it because it makes them have some sort of a validation as if they're participating and trying to do some sort of form of self-growth or self-development, and makes them feel a little bit secure in their own bubble. Even though they know the truth behind it, it takes that weight off of their shoulders. And this is a continuous pattern. Now, I used to have this when it came to my business and it came to my work. But I was so comfortable with the money that I was making and so comfortable with my lifestyle because I had gotten to a point where I was capable of having my own schedule and my own routine, and I basically had no responsibilities but myself, which was not the best thing at that time. And I was not using that always to be putting myself in a better position. I wasn't utilizing my time positively. I was using that time in a selfish state to be able to get my instant gratifications out. So it wasn't about me not achieving. It was just about me not wanting to change from those instant gratifications that I was getting in that time and being comfortable in that position. But I did lose a lot of time. There's bits and periods in my life in the past where I lost a good year and a half or 2 years towards my grind. And at the pace that I'm going at, and at the pace that people like myself try to be able to continue to live by, that's a huge period. A couple of months or a year and a half or 2 year periods every half decade or every decade is massive. So it was a huge thing for me to overcome. I had to start ticking off the boxes. If an idea came up and it was something that I did the research on and it was something that I wanted to be able to accomplish, I had to instantly start to invest into it. So I had accountability. I had to either pay for a mentor, pay for a coach, pay for a website, pay for the product, pay for the insurance, pay for the people that are involved with it, and make my ass work. So if you find yourself in this position, if this sounds familiar to you, like you come up with a lot of ideas and you want to make changes, sometimes it might be the same thing. It might be towards your finances and your career. It might be towards your fitness and weight loss or trying to create a different physique. And you keep picking up the pieces and dropping them every few months and every few years. This is directed towards you. And I'm not trying to put you down. This is just human nature. This is how the brain works. This is where you want to be able to take a step back and just be honest with yourself and look at the patterns of the past and say, okay, I've done this over and over and over and over again. What's the things that's honestly stopping me from doing that? Is it because I'm uncomfortable? Is it because of the finances? I'm being too cheap. I'm rationalizing why I shouldn't spend time or invest on this now. But if I look at the long run, I've wasted 6 years when I could have wasted 6 or 12 months diligently, and I would have accomplished my goal and I'd be in a different position now. So I'm making this video to be able to help people out there to become more self-aware of the way their mind is operating, because everybody's day is busy. Everybody's got work and bills, kids, pets, boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, wives, responsibilities and bills and errands and trying to travel and just trying to get through life. But this is a detrimental habit to your success because it just grows. It just grows and the ideas get bigger so that people can get longer stretches without having to show anything. And it just continues as a pattern. They identify themselves with that, with always the person to have something to talk about and say that they're going to do this and going to do that. And it brings up that conversation with people and they find ways to be able to put bits and pieces in there to make it look like they're actually pursuing this or have invested some time and some effort and gotten some sort of a validation, some sort of reward or fruition out of it. But in the long run, they're just going to throw the towel in and call quits on it. So this is something you want to stop immediately. Be honest with yourself, be logical, and get a real plan. And get people behind you to be able to keep you accountable. And then you will succeed at that goal. Step by step, you will build the skill sets. You will change the habits. You will start to be able to exemplify the person that portrays that role, that will actually receive that goal, or can be able to portray that role to have that life or that body or that income or that person. And you will be able to achieve your goal, but it has to be with rational steps, with tangible steps. It can't just be with thoughts. The more that people spend time analyzing and studying and writing and planning and planning and planning, and the less work they do, the bigger that ratio gets, the harder it is for them to actually start accomplishing the steps, because they just see this mountain of work in front of them. It's a lot different when you're on the path and doing the work. Okay, just imagine if somebody said to you when you're already doing your walks every single day, do you mind picking up any trash that you see along the road? And maybe every 4 or 5 minutes you see a piece of paper or a wrapper or a plastic bottle and you pick it up. It's nothing for you because you're already on that path. But if you don't do anything all day long in your free time and someone points to a 2-mile road and says to you, do you mind walking down there and picking up any trash that's along the way? To you, it's going to be devastating. You're going to be like, you're crazy. How am I going to be able to walk that far and pick stuff up? And where am I going to put it? So that's a small analogy, but it's easy for people to understand it when I say it that way. If you're already out there walking and doing the due diligence, Adding the tasks and just being consistent with them is not difficult, but you have to start. You have to start. You have to start ticking off boxes where you see on a daily basis and weekly basis and monthly basis that you have tangible proof. You look at your background and you say, okay, great, shit, I did this for a week. I did it for a month, even though I had the flu, even though I had my period, even though I had to travel, even though this obstacle came up at work. You see you have actual proof, and that's what's going to give you the momentum. Unfortunately, people in the beginning of their goals don't have tangible proof to give them inspiration or motivation. When people are complimenting you, it's motivation, it's inspiration. When you're buying nice shit, when you're living good, it's motivation, it's inspiration. You got bills to pay, you have a lifestyle you're trying to keep up with. When you don't have any tangible proof to be able to show you that you're doing something, you're not going to be able to get far. So you have to start ticking off those boxes. And mental masturbation is one of the worst habits that you want in your mind running on a consistent basis if you really want to achieve worthy things and live a good life. The worst thing about it is not just that you're going to give yourself that self-doubt and let yourself down. It's that people are going to relate you with that. So in your relationships at work, with your business partners, with your colleagues, with your employer, with your children, with your husband, with your wife, with whoever you're dating, with your friends, they are going to associate you with the boy that cried wolf, with the person that's always talking about doing this and doing that, but never does it. So on their behalf, they just match you 50-50 with that. They're not going to be accountable to you. You'll expect things from them, which I don't believe anybody should expect anything out of anybody. But you will expect things out of them, and those things are not going to come because they're going to be like, oh, she or he doesn't ever even listen to themselves. So I'll do this when I feel like it for them. You'll ask things of people and they'll be late with it or half-assed with it because that's what they relate you with. If you're somebody who's accountable and does what they say, the people around you will match that because they know that you value your word, you value your actions, you value your time. And they will not be able to stay in your circle for a long time because they're going to be checked when they come half-assed to the table. So I hope this can bring you guys some value and give you some insight so you don't fall into that trap of trying to look for the next best thing all the time and never getting anything done because of all the distractions and all the stuff that you see out there from everybody doing, and it makes you feel insecure and you feel like you're supposed to be changing or accomplishing something. And I don't want you to waste your time or waste your energy. I want you to be able to accomplish things that are worthy and be able to reap the rewards. If you have any questions, you can shoot me a DM or an email. My information is in the bio. If you want to get fit, lose some weight, get your feet wet into fitness, I've got a free workout for the men. I've got a free workout for the ladies. Just shoot me a DM or an email and I'll send that out to you so you don't have to invest into a coach or a gym or an online plan. If you're a beginner or just trying to get back into it, stay good to yourself, stay true to yourself, let nothing and nobody get in the way of the life that you want to live.